Hello guys, it's me, Greed here. Today I want to talk about D.Va, who I believe to be the most slept on and the most underrated and most secretly broken character in Overwatch. And I think it's been that way for a very long time. Now obviously the guy on the forums, the D.Va one trick on the forums that says Zarya is like the greatest hero in the game, is going to be pretty upset with this. So I should probably state, I have quite a bit of time on D.Va. Obviously, if you've been around for a long time, you would know I've one-tricked her to top 500 as well. I've played her in a couple of tournaments. These are back in Overwatch 1 when she was an off-tank. So I haven't played her to like the semi-pro level in Overwatch 2, only Overwatch 1. But I would assume it's relatively similar. I can still get her to top 500 no problem, playing the same way. So my reasoning behind D.Va being so stupendously broken and no one really understanding how broken she is how absolutely vile her ability to cut angles is. Her angle control is absolutely obscene, right? Because think about it, like even in Overwatch 1 this applied, right? Let's say you're a soldier, you're on your off angle, you're shooting people, you're doing your thing, you're playing your game. D.Va sees you, and she flies at you, right? Now, every high-level player knows what's about to happen next. You are going to turn away, and you're going to run. You give your angle immediately. You are not going to kill this hero. And realistically, if you're on basically any hero in the game, and you successfully kill a D.Va who's trying to force you out of your angle, that D.Va player is the worst D.Va player of all time, right? It is so easy. Your health bar is so big. You do so much damage. You have so much armor. You have so much defense, so much mobility, so much burst. It is absolutely absurd how stupendously overpowered this character is, right? Because obviously tanks are very capable of forcing angles, especially Hazard. Hazard is another hero that's really good at this, but D.Va and Hazard are different. In the way that Hazard is a bit more of a solo kind of target pressure hero, D.Va doesn't necessarily have to output solo pressure, right? Like, for example, if there's a Hazard there on an angle, Hazard isn't really good at taking space and holding that space through cleave. He is good at taking smaller amounts of space, more like angles. He's good at taking angles because he can force out one person very quickly, but he's bad against groups. So in the same way that D.Va's relatively similar, D.Va is able to provide cleave because of defense matrix, meaning she's actually able to hold and maintain large amounts of map space by herself with her defense matrix and have the same solo carry potential and solo angle forcing potential as a Hazard when you're trying to force people out of their angle and take that single bit of map control, right? That lane or whatever it may be, right? The D.Va is the only tank hero in the game that is capable of holding mass amounts of space by herself like that and has the ability to force out angles as efficiently as she does. Like, I guess Hazard's the only hero in the game that comes even remotely close to how good D.Va is at pushing people out of angles, but there is nothing you can do. Like, even in Overwatch 1, right, when our health bar was a lot lower, still, really, there was not a lot you could do. You're on Ashe, D.Va flies at you, you coach gun away, she eats the coach gun, keeps flying at you, and that's it. Now, you're stood there, 200 health, shooting a D.Va who's borderline invincible, has DM, has mobility, has her micro missiles, has a second life essentially with bomb. Like, there is absolutely no counterplay to this at all, outside of let's just hope that you can run away fast enough that she doesn't immediately blow you up. And that is generally the counterplay for D.Va, and a lot of people will say D.Va's not very good in the higher ranks because of that. Because although D.Va has the ability to force people out those angles, she's not necessarily the most efficient hero in the game at actually killing those people in those angles. But when you realize how often she's able to take and control those angles, you realize it doesn't matter. Because if you're really efficient on D.Va, force the Ashe at the angle, tag her up a bit, make her retreat, go get DPS, or go get healing passive, go get health pack, go get support. Doesn't matter. You're going to force her at the angle. Fly to the next angle. Okay, we're fighting this guy now. We're forcing this guy. We're forcing this guy. Turn around. Ashe back on her angle. Flying her. Forget her angle. And you're able to control like 2 or 3 angles at a time. Really no problem, right? It's really not that difficult to control those angles. Now, obviously, against really, really good players, they're going to get wise to this, and they're going to start picking their angles more favorably, or playing main a bit more often, so they're actually able to get more support as it's happening. So that's what you're going to be looking for with D.Va, is once you've gotten to the point where you've managed to force angles so often that they are playing essentially a death ball comp where they're all just huddled on top of each other because they know how good you are at forcing people out on their angle, that's how you know you've kind of won the game. At that point, you take it slow. And a lot of D.Va players fail at this point because they get to that point and they're like, okay, there's no more angles for me to force out. Where do I go? What do I do? And they're just going to fly into the enemy team or try to get weird with it, and they're going to fail, and they're going to, okay, this D.Va's bad. When it's not the case. What you then need to do is slow your play down immediately. If there's no angles for you to force, you've got really no job to do. Hold DM, give your teammates angles. For example, you see an Ashe wanting to take a certain angle, walk with her on that angle. Get her that angle, there she goes, she's won that. Now she's going to spam her. Let her do her thing. Play passively until you see an angle being taken, then you get on top of your target, right? And that's what makes D.Va so busted, is because it's so easy to just see a guy and go, nah, you're not allowed to be there. And there's nothing they can do. You have to be shit tier on D.Va to get pressured out of an angle by a squishy character, right? I would understand if this is Zarya, but here's the thing. Here's another problem, right? Is you would go, okay, well, they've got D.Va, I just go Zarya. This is not a solution at all. A good D.Va player body slams a good Zarya player, okay? Because what's going to happen is a very good D.Va player, they're going to go on their angle, Zarya's going to beam them, they're going to fight the person off their angle, right? They're going to track Zarya bubbles. Let's say you're playing, for sake of argument, we'll say we're in 5v5, right? Where Zarya is even stronger than she is in 6v6, okay? You see one bubble, okay, start shooting her, micro missile her, get pressure on her immediately, right? Second bubble pops, back up, wait, okay, the actual cooldown itself has started because the bubble is gone. Then just full commit pressure onto her, shoot her with headshots, she explodes. She just immediately explodes. Even while getting heal, if you have like yourself and one other target shooting that Zarya, even while she's getting pocket, she fucking explodes. There's nothing she can do. And the same way that D.Va is insanely good into Zarya, right? People always go, yeah, but you can beam through defense matrix. This is not a good understanding of the game, right? This is not a high-level understanding of why the Zarya D.Va matchup is so hated, right? The reason Zarya D.Va, the matchup is so hated, is because most people don't know how to play D.Va, and they just think, okay, well, that's my counter, it's lame, right? Which is fair enough, they can think that. But the reality is, a good D.Va player doesn't give a fuck about a Zarya, because you fly backline, okay, if the Zarya is going to touch you, she gives space, right? She's going to come back, give space, right? You win. Get out, right? She starts reclaiming that space, fight her, bubble pops, blow her up immediately. Okay, she's got bubble, go fight an angle. The only scenario where D.Va doesn't feel good to play into Zarya is if they're playing Zarya Death Ball with like Mei, Sim, Brig, and all this shit, and they just stand on top of each other and Death Ball around. And even then, playing D.Va, genuinely, not that bad. Really, really not that bad. Because you have so much single target pressure that if someone ever tries to take any angle at all, remember, you immediately blow them up on D.Va. Your aim has to be so bad not to just immediately explode a target when you get on them. And that's why I think D.Va is the most ludicrously overpowered tank hero. Maybe not in the game right now, but over the course of the history of the game. Like, if you look back and say, what's been the most overpowered tank hero throughout history, which one is most often? It's D.Va. D.Va is so stupendously broken. Now, obviously, there's an argument for Sigma as well. Sigma's really, really broken too. And I would almost put them on par with each other. But D.Va has been overpowered longer because D.Va's existed longer, obviously. That's why I think she's the most slept on tank, right? Because obviously people know Sigma is really, really good. People don't realize how good D.Va is, right? Which is my main argument, okay? People just always assume D.Va's not very good, which is very silly, and I don't know why they think that. I think what happens is they lock D.Va, they don't know what they're doing, they don't know how to force an angle, they don't know how to pressure an angle, they don't know how to take like a lane or something, they don't know how to go backline, they don't know how to do any of it, they don't know how to play into beam, and they go, okay, I don't know how to do this, and the solution must be that it's D.Va and not me. It's not that case. Actually go out and learn how to play D.Va, that you will get the freest wins of all time. Play into 5 beams, it doesn't matter. Like, realistically, the only way you're getting absolutely destroyed on D.Va is if you are bad. Genuinely, the character is so absurdly broken right now. And obviously, Hazard's insanely good right now as well. And, you know, obviously Hazard's going to be really fucking annoying for the reasons that I named in my Hazard video. Hazard's brain dead. But D.Va is so slept on. It's unreal. And you'll even see this in the ban graphs, right? If you go look at the developer update or the dev blog or whatever it was, they released the ban statistics. D.Va is really, like, banned super often in high ranks. And I think that's primarily because most people are abusing hit scan meta, where they're just playing hit scans all day and they don't want the D.Va on them. But some of them are actually also understanding that the reason people are banning D.Va, at least in most cases, is because those people actually understand how stupendously overpowered she is. Now, obviously, it's not just the hit scans, right? Everyone is starting to get a bit of a grasp on, oh, actually, this character's a bit insane. And the thing is, right, back when D.Va got buffed and she got 3-second defense matrix, people were like, that's what sent the character over the edge. No, it isn't. That made the character more annoying. She's been ridiculously broken forever. It's just no one likes playing her, so you don't see her very often. And that's the same with a lot of characters. So there's a lot of heroes in this game that are really, really overpowered. Stupidly overpowered. But because they don't get playtime, they don't get nerfs or stuff like that, right? People don't really talk about them. Illari is one of them. Illari is absolutely, right now, one of the most broken characters in the whole game. Absolutely game-breaking. But because it's not Sigma, whatever the fuck meta, it's not Sigma poke meta, and you're not just like standing on angle all day against a healing pylon, you don't feel it as much. But that doesn't mean the character isn't insanely broken. Like she is. Anyway, I love you all. I hope you have a good day. You're all beautiful. I'm still looking for a duo, by the way. DM me on Discord. I love you all. Goodbye. 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 Have a good day. Goodbye. Goodbye.